Jane Addams was known as the mother of social work. She was born in Cedarville, Illinois, in a prosperous family. Her father, John Huey Adams, was the president of the Second National Bank of Freeport and was an Illinois Republican Party member. He also served as an Illinois state senator and supported his friend Abraham Lincoln in his candidacy for presidency. Jane Addams dreamed to become a doctor in her younger years. However, her dad passed away during her years in medical school. She then had spinal surgery, which was the consequence of her childhood tuberculosis. After that, she dropped out from school and stayed home with her stepmother. Around 1887, she started to form her ideas about Settlement House. In 1989, Adams became the co-founders of the first settlement house in America, Hull House in Chicago, which was well known for feminism and children's rights promoting movement. She was also known for her pacifism.
Jane Addams was successful in achieving the civic aims she set out to address due to her ambition, but most importantly, her social status and education level. Growing up, she lived a life of privilege. During her second tour of Europe, she became inspired to open a special facility established to help the poor like the one she saw in England. Through her connections, she raised money and convinced young women of well-to-do families to help in her efforts to provide assistance to the poor in Chicago. One can say her feminist ideals were induced by her father, who encouraged her to become literate and well educated. She believed that women should make their voices heard in legislation and should have a right to vote. But most entirely, she thought women should generate aspirations and search for opportunities to realize them.
Touching on her aspirations for world peace, in January 1915, she became involved in the Women's Peace Party and was elected national chairman. Adams was also elected president of the International Committees of Women for Permanent Peace. In 1931, she won a Nobel Prize in Peace for her efforts to get women involved in peace-preserving movements and getting them recognized for their contributions to world peace. In relation to our course, resembling Palmer, Jane Addams believed in democracy and the power of human hearts as they are the root of citizenship, a common good. She showed her belief in democracy via her first books on ethics, democracy, and social ethics. Her fights for human rights and pacifism showed that she had trust in the power of human hearts.
Also, her life can be used as an example to emphasize the importance of social capital, following one's vocation, and being an active citizen. Adams took advantage of her high social status to seek aid from affluent connections, whether monetary or through engagement in her efforts. Through these connections, many social programs were launched, including the Immigrants Protective League and the first juvenile court in the U.S. Her title as Mother of Social Work honors her immersion in her passion to aid the poor. In establishing Hull House, her vision was to reduce poverty by providing social services and education to working class immigrants and laborers. A few of the services offered at Hull House include kindergarten and daycare for children of working mothers, an art gallery, libraries, and an employment bureau. We highlight the establishment and programs offered at Hull House because it paved the way for the many successes of Jane Addams, especially in terms of social change. Jane continued working at Hull House up until her death in 1935. Today, she is remembered as a pioneer of social work and as one of the nation's leading pacifists.